Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another cast. Guys, today I have yet another ProTA game for you. This time on a map called Racine Crossing, which I've just casted one recently, a ProTA game. And this map is just so cool. I've already talked about why this map is so awesome, but I will go further into it momentarily, because right now Venom with a early bomber against Teal, and Teal doesn't even have a pulverizer up. He will finish it now, but this bomber... Oh, hang on. We got a little bit of lag here. The game is frozen. It should hopefully fix itself momentarily. Okay, there we go. The bomber is now moving back around, and it probably will... No, that pulverizer will stay alive, this missile tower. Keeping Teal in the game for sure, but now there's also a slasher on the field. Teal doing what he can to nano block, but very nice job by Venom there. I didn't even get time to introduce the players before Venom was already sending over a bomber. But see, the issue with the air start is that it will put you behind. As you can see, Venom only on 1 mechs and 2 wind generators. He does have an air con though, and that will speed this up a little bit. But I guess Teal is in a similar situation. However, Teal has a vehicle plant, and that's generally going to be more useful early on. Just being able to expand the air cons are kind of expensive, and they don't build very quickly. But Teal now attempting to recover as Venom sends yet another bomber into the fray. So frustrating to deal with, I have to tell you, as a player on the receiving end of this. Kind of feels like you can't really get out of your base. You can't really leave the starting area, as this bomber inflicting severe economic damage on Teal here, Mr. Mealsolutions, who, man, that is a beautiful bomber micro by Venom there, and now working on his 3rd bomber and slowly building up his base. So, guys, I've talked about in previous casts how important it is that if you're going to build a bomber, or if you're going to start bombers first, you have to get a lot of economic damage done to justify it. And this is an example of getting enough economic damage done. Teal doesn't even have enough metal to build a metal extractor here. He is just so crippled by Venom's early aggression. It's a horrible situation to be in. But hold that thought, because our yellow player Tristan has sent a couple Jeffies. And will Venom have enough to hold this off? Venom should know this is coming. He has a radar, and he does have a single missile tower in place. However, this ridge will block that missile tower. However, this missile tower will hit it. So, Yellow not even taking out a single mechs. And now Rock, who has gone K-Bots first here, will be taking out a construction vehicle. So, as expected, our tag team, the TA Gods, definitely in a commanding position here, as Venom with that nice early bombing aggression, and Rock using these peewees quite effectively. As you can see, he's got him in a nice little triangle there. Very well microed. And Venom flying around his scout, seeing what looks good for breakfast, because he's just going to be bombing Yellow's base now. The Eastern team in a ton of trouble, as I think the TA Gods are about to just run them over. So I didn't really have much time to talk about that. But certainly Venom and Rock, probably the favored team in the entire 2v2 tournament that is currently happening. So I don't think this is an official tournament game. I could be wrong about that, but either way, you can see why they're so strong. Great teamwork. Venom's air control has just been phenomenal here, and in the middle, it does seem like Yellow doing what he can to hold the bridge, I've mentioned in previous casts, guys, holding the bridge on this map is everything. Early on, you don't want to let your opponents have free access and just run you over. But yeah, Venom continuing to do this, bombing, harassment, and Teal probably at his wit's end here, dealing with all of Venom's shenanigans, killing metal extractors over and over, preventing Teal from getting any kind of real estate on the map. He just can't even expand with this constant air pressure, and the micro of Venom's bomber control is out of this world. Very, very frustrating, I'm sure, as Teal desperately throwing up more missile towers, or more missile turrets, to try to defend himself. But now Venom is on air, and he has a vehicle plant, so Venom is just so far ahead of Teal. It's kind of a terrible situation to be in. And Yellow doing what he can to hold the bridge early on. Now, I expect that one of these players is going to go into ships at some point. But let's go ahead and introduce the players. This game has just been so action-packed, I haven't really had a chance. Our Eastern team, Mr. Mealsolutions in teal. And in yellow, we have Tristan. And of course, in orange, Mr. Tag Rock and Venom, the creator of the ProTA mod. And by the way, Rock creates a lot of the maps, or he... Excuse me. Rock either creates the maps or he updates a lot of the maps as well. So these two players work a lot on this mod, or the maps of this mod, together. And what an amazing mod it is. I've been truly enjoying the cast. By the way, this game is happening live. I haven't mentioned that. I meant to mention that at the beginning, but this game is actually happening right now. So I don't often cast live games, but there is a certain allure to casting a live game because it's happening in the present, as opposed to most of the games I cast have already happened, sometimes months or years ago before I casted them. So this game is happening in real time. I have no idea who wins. Obviously, the favorites here will be the TA gods, Venom and Rock, the Tag clan. And I'm actually a little surprised that Teal and Yellow would even attempt to face off against these two legends of total annihilation. Yellow's sending his flashes through here, but not a great plan. Rock has way too many peewees for that to even come close to working, and Venom showing why he is such a legendary player with this constant bomber harassment. Yellow has gone into the sea, as I sort of expected, and so has Rock. Rock currently building a shipyard. But it just kind of feels like there's not enough anti-air in the world to stop Purple from just bombing the Eastern team into absolute oblivion. And there's just so much surface area here to cover with anti-air. It's going to be hard to cover every single approach that a bomber can take. Yellow doing his best here. He has thrown up a defender just in time. That area. So, yeah, but now Venom going on to T2. And he is also going into Naval, so it seems that both players on the Western team are going into Naval. Rock will reach T2 first and immediately building a warrior. Guys, warriors and Zeus's in this mod have a similar role. They are both kind of like frontline assault K-bots. But I do believe, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I do believe the warrior is a little bit cheaper and shorter range than the Zeus, so they're better, especially against T1. Warrior is generally the early stage T2 armed K-bot. You will build those first, and they do kill T1 tanks and units very efficiently. So it's common to see the warrior spam early on. I do think they're probably cheaper than Zeus's. Don't know for sure, but that's just the way that I've seen players use them, and so I assume this is the unit that is designed to counter T1, and it does it very, very well. The range isn't great, but most T1 units also don't have a great range, and so if the warrior can just get it into its... if you can get units into its firing solution, they will simply melt to that EMG and Gauss cannon combo. One of its arms is like a... One of its arms shoots a cannon, the other one shoots EMGs, but a very strong unit. It is quite different in ProTA than what it does in escalation. And it's also quite different in ProTA than what it did in OTA. In OTA, it was a T1 unit that wasn't really great in general, just didn't have much of a use. So in ProTA, they moved it to T2 as kind of like an early T2 K-bot. So that is its function in this game. And Tristan, with his commander moving across the bridge here, he's got to be really careful. His commander is very exposed there. And Venom flies a scout over, so he will probably see that. He will probably see that Tristan's commander is on the front line here. Maybe attempting to use his D-gun to get a little bit of purchase on the bridge. Give himself a nice advantage in this fight, but this is quite a gamble. And with these warriors standing guard, I just don't think that the flashes are really going to make much headway. These warriors chew through flashes. It's not even close. And Yellow will have to probably use his D-gun very efficiently here. Saw something. Okay, so that was a Diplomat I saw. Diplomat. Venom is on the T2 phase, now building that vertically launched missile. It's a little strange to see a Diplomat in this situation. It's not what you would expect. Though they are very good at taking out stationary structures, but one might expect in this situation a Luger. The T2 artillery. Or Crocs. Croc is another interesting option here. The core equivalent to the ARM Triton. But the narrowness of this bridge does create a difficult situation for players to sort of navigate. The choke point makes it difficult to pass. Even though Rock's army is superior, it will be tough. But this one Diplomat, let's see how many kills it has. 2 kills already, so this Diplomat will, if it can hit a clump of units, could be pretty effective. Gets that one instigator pretty low. But now we have entered the phase of the game of sea combat. It took a little while, but now we have some searchers of Venoms poking and prodding in the north, trying to find some targets. And the Eastern team is doing okay. They are still alive, which I didn't really expect at this point in the game. I thought maybe the Eastern team would be out of it or dead already. Certainly with Venom's bombing early on, Teal was in a very dire situation, and Yellow did, I guess, step up to hold the bridge. But again, these warriors so strong against the flashes and instigators here. A Bulldog has made its way to the front line, so Yellow is on T2, but he's built his advanced vehicle plant very close to the front line, which is quite a gamble. But Bulldogs will be very, very strong against warriors because they have a nice AoE effect, and they will outrange the warriors as well. So Bulldog's a good option here. This one Diplomat continuing to be a nuisance. 10 kills on it already. And in this situation on this very narrow bridge, it is hard to dodge its missiles. A shooter as well being built by Rock, so Yeah, the Western team sort of in siege mode here, and the Diplomat definitely doing better than I thought it would. Venom is taking control of the sea, and now a few Crocs moving across, and we already saw how strong Tritons are, so Crocs are the core equivalent, and they will be essentially the same, not too much of a difference. But yeah, the shooter, a nice option in this situation. And the warriors as well. So the Eastern team in a bit of trouble. They are throwing up some defenses. And these Crocs are now positioned north of the eastern island of Teal's base. Just going to check out the player bases for a moment. Warriors continuing to move through, but with these 4 bulldogs, I would think this push will probably stop short. However, the shooter still getting free shots. Every shot from a shooter doing a massive amount of damage. Of course, that one hit a corpse. But there's a decent amount of defenses here as well, and so again, this bridge does make it difficult for either team to push through. That shooter is now way too close to the front line. It will die. But these Crocs are about to make roads inland, and that is probably going to be quite devastating for Teal, who has no idea this is coming. I don't think Teal has any idea. Yellow now going into air, but again, the Western team very far ahead economically, and Rock with some Phoenix as well. So it's not looking good. It's not looking good for the Eastern team. This is sort of the outcome that we expect in this situation, but holy cow. Team Tag looking a bit unstoppable here. They are called the TA gods for a reason. Yellow pushing through with more bulldogs, but this diplomat, a new diplomat, I think the last one may have died. But now, Venom moving down with his Crocs that he has been stacking up there for a little while. There looks to be about 6 of them. They have come through at a very opportune time. There's not much up here to defend. Teal is definitely going to have to bring his commander up and use the D-gun if he wants to save this part of his base. Vehicle plant already under attack, and Teal will move his commander into D-gun range, but he has to be careful because he doesn't want to get killed either. So nice defense by Teal. He's able to push this attack off before too much is killed. And there are some corpses left over. It's a consolation prize. Yellow continuing to move through with bulldogs, but again, this bridge makes it difficult to make any kind of progress at all. But now Rock with the disgusting T2 bomber play. Sentinel will die instantly, and Rock knows exactly where he's going because he scouted all of this out. The advanced vehicle plant and the aircraft plant going up in smoke. I just don't think there's enough air defense in the world. Again, the team play here between these two, very impressive. And Teal has been bombed into the Stone Age, and now it is just Yellow left, and it's got to be only a matter of time. So great teamwork by both these players. Venom using his scouts here to give vision of Teal's base and his commander. And then, of course, Rock moving through with a devastating final blow. And now even more scouts coming out. Rock looking for those juicy targets. Those targets of opportunity. Now bombing Yellow as well, and again, these two are definitely the favorites to win the tournament. Just the individual skill of these players and the teamwork. Very, very impressive. And yellow juking and jiving here, but it's only a matter of time. His commander already very low. But again, I have to say the Eastern team did a really good job of holding on. Especially with Venom's expert bomber play early on. That is a situation that would probably make me rage quit the game after about 2 minutes of that nonsense. So hats off to Teal for sticking it out in such a frustrating situation. You can't even build your base because you have bombers just blowing up everything, even blowing up the missile turrets that you build to try to stop the bomber harassment. But yeah, yellow in a huge amount of trouble here as the Crocs now make their way inland, closer to the heart of his base. And Reapers as well, and now the Brawlers made it into Tristan's sight lines on top of his commander, and he will die. So, guys, that was a pretty good game, but yeah, again, the TA gods showing why they are named as such, and what a cool map. I really hope we get to see and cast more games on this map because it is so well designed and fun to cast. So, yeah, guys, thank you everybody for watching this. And if you have not subscribed to my Discord or joined my Discord, please go ahead and do that if you want to be part of my community. And I will see you all in the next cast.